Greetings, fellow gardeners and friends of the Humus heritage. If you've found yourself here, chances are you're dealing with one of gardening's most frustrating challenges: waterlogged soil that refuses to drain, leaving your precious plants gasping for air while drowning in saturated earth. You've probably seen headlines promising miracle cures, ancient secrets, and revolutionary roots that will solve all your drainage woes overnight. Today we're going to have an honest, practical conversation about what really works when it comes to fixing waterlogged soil, because you deserve the truth more than empty promises. Let's start by acknowledging the very real struggle that brings gardeners to their knees season after season. You step into your garden after a good rain, and instead of finding happy, thriving plants, you're greeted by yellowing leaves, stunted growth, and that telltale mushy feeling underfoot. The soil remains saturated for days, puddles form in low spots, and despite your best efforts, your plants seem to be slowly suffocating. This isn't just an aesthetic problem. Waterlogged soil creates a cascade of serious issues that can devastate even the most carefully planned garden. When soil becomes waterlogged, the spaces between soil particles fill completely with water, displacing the oxygen that plant roots desperately need to function. Without adequate oxygen, roots cannot take up nutrients effectively, leading to nutrient lockout even when fertilizers are present. The anaerobic conditions that develop in saturated soil become perfect breeding grounds for harmful pathogens, particularly those that cause root rot. Meanwhile, beneficial soil microorganisms struggle to survive, further degrading soil health. The frustration mounts as you try solution after solution, only to watch the same problems return with the next heavy rainfall. When soil becomes waterlogged, the spaces between soil particles fill completely with water, displacing the oxygen that plant roots desperately need to function. Without adequate oxygen, roots cannot take up nutrients effectively, leading to nutrient lockout, even when fertilizers are present. The anaerobic conditions that develop in saturated soil become perfect breeding grounds for harmful pathogens, particularly those that cause root rot. Meanwhile, beneficial soil microorganisms struggle to survive, further degrading soil health. Now, let's address the elephant in the garden, the notion that there exists some forgotten ancient root that indigenous cultures use to magically fix all waterlogged soil. This narrative, while compelling and frequently repeated across social media and gardening videos, is fundamentally misleading. The truth is that no single plant, no matter how impressive its root system, can fix all waterlogged soil conditions. Drainage problems stem from complex interactions between soil composition, structure, topography, and water table levels. While certain deep-rooted plants like vetiver grass and comfrey have valuable roles in erosion control and can contribute to soil improvement over time, presenting them as universal cure-alls does a disservice to gardeners who need real solutions. The appeal of such claims is understandable. We're all drawn to simple answers for complicated problems, especially when they come wrapped in the mystique of ancient wisdom. However, sustainable gardening requires us to understand our specific soil conditions and address the underlying causes of poor drainage rather than seeking magical fixes. The good news is that proven effective strategies do exist for transforming waterlogged soil into a thriving growing environment, and these methods work precisely because they address the fundamental issues at play. To fix waterlogged soil permanently, we must understand what's actually happening beneath the surface. Most drainage problems occur in heavy clay soils, where tiny, tightly packed particles leave minimal pore space for water movement and air circulation. When rain falls on compacted clay, water has nowhere to go, so it sits on the surface or saturates the upper layers completely. The solution lies not in planting a specific root, but in fundamentally improving the soil's physical structure to create pathways for water movement and gas exchange. The single most effective long-term approach is incorporating substantial amounts of organic matter into your soil. Compost, well-rotted manure, aged leaf mold, and similar materials work miracles over time by creating aggregates, clumps of soil particles bound together by organic compounds and microbial activity. These aggregates create the crucial pore spaces that allow water to drain while simultaneously providing channels for air to reach plant roots. This isn't a one-time fix, but an ongoing practice that transforms soil biology and structure season after season. Begin your soil transformation by working a generous layer of organic matter, approximately 2 to 4 inches deep, into the top 6 to 8 inches of your existing soil. This can be done when establishing new beds or gradually incorporated into existing gardens during seasonal turnovers. For severely compacted clay soils, combining organic matter with coarse materials like horticultural grit creates even more dramatic improvements. The key word here is coarse. Fine sand actually worsens clay compaction by filling in air spaces, so always opt for materials with particle sizes larger than the surrounding soil. For gardens with persistent waterlogging that doesn't respond to amendment, raised beds offer an excellent alternative that provides immediate relief. By elevating the root zone above the saturated ground level, you create an entirely new growing environment with controllable drainage characteristics. Fill your raised beds with a carefully balanced mixture of quality topsoil, compost, and drainage-enhancing materials suited to your plant's needs. This approach works brilliantly in small spaces and allows you to grow a wide variety of crops, even when the surrounding yard remains problematic. When waterlogging affects large areas or results from high water tables and poor site grading, more substantial interventions may be necessary. French drains, which consist of gravel-filled trenches containing perforated pipes, can redirect excess water away from planting areas toward more suitable drainage points. Rain gardens represent another creative solution, transforming problem areas into functional, beautiful features by intentionally channeling runoff into planted depressions filled with water-loving native species that thrive in temporary saturation. Prevention proves equally important as cure when managing soil moisture. Avoid walking on wet soil, as foot traffic severely compacts saturated ground and undoes your improvement efforts. Be mindful of mulch application during wet seasons. While mulch provides numerous benefits during normal conditions, excessive layers can prevent soil from drying adequately during prolonged wet periods. Building soil health through consistent organic matter addition, supporting beneficial microbial communities, and practicing minimal tillage creates resilient soil that handles both excess moisture and drought conditions more effectively. The journey to perfect soil drainage isn't about discovering secret plants or ancient roots, it's about understanding your specific conditions and applying proven soil science principles consistently over time. The transformation won't happen overnight, but with patient, persistent effort, you can turn even the most challenging waterlogged garden into productive, healthy growing space. Your investment in proper soil management pays dividends year after year, creating the foundation for abundant harvests and thriving ornamental displays. If you found this honest, practical approach to solving waterlogged soil helpful, please subscribe to the Humus Heritage channel and share this guide with fellow gardeners who need real solutions, not marketing myths. Together, we're building a community of informed gardeners who understand that sustainable success comes from working with nature's principles, not searching for shortcuts. What's your experience with waterlogged soil? Share your challenges and successes in the comments below. Let's learn from each other and grow together.